I'm sorry, the link.
Absolutely. So here is copy the Google Drive folder.
Sorry.
No. And then the role for your party is there. There we go. That should work. So, hello and welcome. If you're watching this, this is the second session of
crap.
Of Pasión de las Pasiones. And we are coming back with our established characters. We're going to do a little bit of setup and logistics and things like that. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Matt, is there something you need?
No, sorry. I just had a bit of lag. And
okay.
I said, "Oh crap," because I thought I crashed. And no, I'm still here. Sorry.
Oh, good. No, that's okay. I just want to make sure. I had a really bad tech week earlier this week, so yeah, I can appreciate that. So we're going to be coming back to this, and there are a couple of things I want to say. So again, this system works by you get your pluses to your roll, PbtA style, but you do that by answering questions. You've got questions that are established on your sheet that are unique to your character. Also, when I have you introduce yourself, I want you to mention what your experience point question is, experience point reaction shot from the home audience. We'll come to that. Tonight, I do want to make sure we have the basic moves. We hit a bunch of those last time. We want to look at how we can generate leverage on characters. We talked about that and be looking to see, and don't be afraid to go, okay, I want to push into this move, and here's my fiction for that, since we're getting used to that. So feel free to kind of look at it. The other thing, of course, is that we have those flashback moves. If you get some leverage, or you can even actually flash back without leverage and just spend stress to flash back to something you've prepared for, consider those. Those are interesting tools for changing what's going on there, and they're on the second tab, the fourth tab over. So that is the big stuff. So what I want to do is come back and I'll have you introduce your character. What I want you to do is give us a previously on, but not from the first part of the episode, from some other episode. I want you to describe a scene from like a show some weeks back that we haven't seen. Give us a shot of that character. Tell us who you are, and tell us what your experience point question is. We'll be playing until we get to a good stopping point, or until we kind of hit time. If we get close to the end time, we'll try and kind of hard frame so we get to a good stopping point. And we will try to stop off to do a little bit of discussion about the game at the end, and we will take a break at the midpoint. Any questions about that before I get started? Okay. Then let's start with sort of an order of appearance from arriving on set. Let's start with Nieves. With you, Brian. Tell us about Nieves. Give us a scene that we would see in a previously on, and tell us about the experience question.
Okay, so Nieves, previously on Pasiones, she was in town, and she was buying the groceries for the week, and kind of talking to some old friends that she had, and that was when she she dropped something. She dropped a orange, and she bent to pick it up, and then she heard a conversation, a very ominous conversation, about someone who wanted to do harm to Alejandro, which was very disturbing.
The orange, appropriate. It is the signal of death in the Godfather films. If you've done film studies, you'll know that. So yeah, that's perfect. I love it. But tell us about Nieves. What do we need to know about her?
Nieves is a dutiful worker with ambitions to someday have her own business, or certainly maybe to at least just be married and no longer be a maid. She is a subdued beauty with beautiful brown eyes and perfect skin.
And given to flights of fancy.
Given to flights of fancy, yes, both in daydreaming mode and in written mode.
And you get experience when what happens?
When your abuela says, pobrecita, when something happens to me.
Which we did hit that a couple of times last time. We were able to do the keys to the castle move for you, I think, a little bit. That was cool. Let's make sure we look at your suitors thing and see if we can play and get a chance to do something with that tonight if we can.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Then we have sort of reverse order, but let's start with the twin, Fernando Delgado. Tell us about El Gemelo.
All right. So Fernando is the long lost twin brother of Alejandro Delgado. Fernando grew up, in a relatively little means, for their family, and just a generally very giving, sweet, wonderful guy. Just kind of came back from doing humanitarian relief work overseas, and sadly contracted a disease overseas that made it so that he needs a liver transplant. And he just so happened to discover that he has this long lost twin, so he's kind of undercover, basically, instead of being sensible and just kind of like, hello, brother, let's talk. He's decided to impersonate his brother to try and find out what kind of person he is, to see if he can get a liver transplant going here. So he looks exactly like Alejandro, which we got fancy suits, we got an eye patch. Alejandro wears his eye patch on the right, mine is on the left, and I don't actually have a problem with my eye. So if that ever gets ripped off, the gig is up. Awesome mustache. I will wave around my my very large pistol, which probably looks a little bit larger than Alejandro's, but less real, because I don't think it's actually a real gun.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's Fernando. And on a previous scene, I think we see him kind of skulking through the hallways of the, I think we might actually see Alejandro come around a corner, and then it might be one of those moments of just like Fernando kind of peeking around the corner, and all you see is his face with like, just kind of looking and just watching an interaction between maybe probably Alejandro and his goons, planning something nefarious. So I think the shocked look on my face at what my brother is doing.
Awesome. And you get to mark XP when? Did we lose you there for a sec, or did I lose my?
I couldn't hear. Sorry, I had a little bit of lag there. Was it a question for me?
Yes. When do you mark experience?
Apologies. Yeah. So I mark experience when the father gets confused about who I am or what I'm plotting.
Which did happen last time. So
yes, it did.
Perfect. Then let's cut to your twin, Alejandro Delgado. Tell us about yourself.
Alejandro is a total jerk. He appears virtually identical to Fernando. Fancy suit, eye patch, and mustache. Of course, eye patch on the other side. Nobody knows what's under that eye patch. Alejandro is a bit of a drug lord. He's got some goons who beat up a cop. He is married and is lusting after Nieves. And he is a monster. So my experience with soap operas is an American soap opera called Days of Our Lives that has been on the air for 50-something years.
Yep.
And I know telenovelas aren't quite that sort of thing, but I kind of imagine that if this show hasn't been on the air forever, then that it might be like a sequel to a series that happened like a couple decades ago or something.
Okay.
And my flashback to previously on is an episode from that original series of a young Alejandro with both of his eyes, confessing his love to Adriana for the first time. It is a genuine love, or it was at one point, and before he became a total monster.
Bitter and cynical. Oof.
Yeah.
Nice. What is the key where we have you mark XP?
When the audience gasps at the horror of my actions.
Yeah. Delicious. That's a good one. And let's see. We think we hit your thugs. We hit your dangerous passion. There. So got that. And to jump back to Fernando, I don't think we did that wasn't me yet, because that requires a flashback move. Okay. So Marcella, tell us about yourself.
So Marcella is a very beautiful, just becoming adult, like mid-20-ish lady. Her father owns this estate that we're all on. So she's had a very easy ride in life. She's very beautiful, and things have always come super easy to her, so she's never had to try super hard. And so on a previous episode, I think she was, in some common area, eating lunch or something. And Nieves was around, cleaning. And then we just get one of those moments where you see Marcella seeing her for real for the first time, and totally falling in love, and that whole just being enraptured by this servant who she's seen a million times and never thought anything of.
The soft focus and the light changes kind of shot.
Yeah.
Close-ups. Yeah.
And when do we mark XP for you?
When a family member whistles in appreciation of your beauty.
Okay. We've got a couple moves on you. I want definitely try and make sure that we hit today. And we'll see that we can get those. We got that nice entrance move, and also that hard to pin down one, which has a lot of uses. So we'll see if we can get that on the table. Nice. So last time, the estate, we saw Fernando skulking. We saw him get trapped by Marcella and break off from that. We see that confusion that Marcella has, trying to get the approval from her uncle, but now she's confused about which one it is. She's also dealing with that necklace. We see Nieves overhearing conversations. She gets to see the detective get beat up by Alejandro's goons after Alejandro sends them out. We see Alejandro dealing with his wife Adriana, and we know that there's something up with that. And then we see, of course, our driver Reynaldo dealing with Nieves, and then dealing with Marcella. We see the necklace. We see that go around, and of course, the big end scene. Everybody's drawn together. We're a day or two away from the big party that's being planned, the birthday party for Ricardo Delgado, the older brother of Alejandro. So that's a thing. Caterers are probably arriving. That's getting set up. But the big thing, of course, was Marcella's mother coming with this police officers, going to essentially the conservatory where Nieves is writing in her journal and pulling out the necklace and saying that they found it in Nieves' room. And, we would have hit that dun, dun, dun shot of that. And when we come back, the focus is not on that, but it's on Marcella, because Marcella knows who had that necklace. She knows who she gave it to do something with that necklace, and it did not happen as she hoped it would. So, Marcella, we're going to start with you here. What do you want to do? What does Marcella do?
Marcella, first of all, is shocked, totally sideswiped by this. And she's panicked. This was not how she foresaw this all playing out. I think that she's going to march into the middle of this, and make like a big scene, and like, you know, trying to like convince everyone that like it couldn't possibly have been Nieves. She's like vouching for her character, saying like she would never do something like that. And then maybe she tries to throw driver guy under the bus.
Interesting. Do you think that this is striking out at the driver, or would you describe this as accusing the driver of lying after that sort of lead up? What do you want to have happen here?
No, I think she's accusing him of lying.
Okay. So you march in, and that, of course, all the eyes turn, because when you come in there, of course, you stride in, raged, and we get that camera shot of you and your beauty, and you come in, you make this plea. Your mother's surprised to see you talking with any kind of passion. The police officer's sees you and does that double take. Hasn't seen anyone as beautiful as you. So let's look at your. Are you the center of attention? I think that's a yes, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think she's right in the thick of it.
Do you have an audience? Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have evidence?
Do I have concrete evidence? No.
Then I think that's a +2 you're rolling with.
All right. So let's make these purple, because there's none of those.
Feel free to drag them over. Okay.
So 6, 7, 8.
Okay, that's an 8. So you get to choose 2 from the accuse someone of lying list.
I like they're surprised, scared, or flustered.
Yeah, he never expected you to come in like this. He expected that you would simply laugh it off, but you reacted very strongly.
And can I be right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that the "you are right" is going to be read as your mother being there's some hesitation, and we probably hear the booming voice of your father comes in and says, "Marcella is correct. Just because this was found in Nieves, who has been a prized servant to the family for many years, just because of that, we cannot jump to conclusions. There will be an investigation, but to drag her away in handcuffs on the day before my party, I will have none of that. Colonel Perez," he turns to the police officer, "you may have your people look into the situation, but I will personally vouch. And I think that the strong belief of my daughter here shows you that in this household, it could not have been this young woman." And then everybody turns to look at you, Nieves.
I think I'm going to just barely make it over to Marcella and just say, "Oh, thank you for believing in me," and just pass out into her arms. So I think that gives you actually a point of leverage over me. I think, if I'm reading this right.
Well, you could actually. Are you expressing your love to her?
Yes, I am quietly, so that nobody else can hear.
So we do get that intimate scene, even though there's all these people around.
Right.
So the camera comes in on the two of you at that moment. And you're not dressed to impress, right?
Oh no, I'm dressed for work.
Okay.
Yeah.
They do believe you're single.
Yes.
And what is your personal question?
My XP question?
The question you always ask. Are you in over your head?
Oh, am I in over my head? Oh yeah, I'm so in over my head.
So you get to roll with a +2.
All right. Let's see. I got these 2 pale blue ones down here. Reroll. Uh-oh. 6.
So that is a 6. So let me think here. What is appropriate? I think that you do that and you realize you're in the midst of all of these people. And I think you're going to have to mark stress.
Oh, man. I'm stressed just thinking about it.
Okay. And you realize that Marcella may be concentrating on other things, and maybe she didn't even hear you. You expressed your words. They came out, and she didn't even hear. Alejandro, it's your brother, and what's going on with this necklace? And there's more detectives here. What's your reaction?
Am I there? Did I come in with my brother?
You would have you had arrived before, kind of followed them into the room. Your brother arrived a little bit later, so yeah, you are present to see all this. And for a second, you thought that Nieves was going to be swept up by the police.
I think that I don't know. I may have instinctively put my hand on my pistol without taking it out when I thought that was going to happen. Which doesn't, it's not a stable man's reaction, but Alejandro is certainly not that. But he relaxes it as he sees Nieves collapse, and he sort of. Did you still pass out?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's sort of like a soccer pass out.
Okay.
But yeah.
In that case, I think Alejandro is going to stride forward and try to sweep you up in his arms and say, "I will take care of her. I will take her back to the house."
That seems fair. I think your brother is going to step forward and say, "Don't you think you've done enough?" See him look at you. He clearly believes that this is your work.
Brother, I'm sure I have no idea what you are talking about. Now, please stand aside. I'm going to tend to this young woman.
Yes, tend to me.
Yeah, your brother will step out of the way, but he looks more angry than you've seen him in quite a while.
Well, his anger is just stirring my rage as well. You always... you bring out the worst in me, brother.
Do you want to strike out at him with your words? Do you want to say something, or in front of all these people?
I do. Yes.
What is it you say? What is it that you bring to bear on your brother here in front of his wife, your wife, his children? All of these people, Nieves.
You are a fool, brother. To let this happen under your roof, the theft, and now police marching around, stomping through your gardens. What a... mother and father would be ashamed.
Oh,
Man.
all right. So I think you caught him off guard.
Good.
I think he's wronged you. I mean, that's certainly you feel that he's wronged you. What about your the question that you have in your playbook? What's the?
Am I taking control of this situation? I think I am.
Okay, you get to roll with +3. There's almost no chance that you'll fail.
Hey, and I didn't. I got a 12.
So what'd you get?
12.
Well,
must be nice.
you get to choose 2 from the strike out at someone.
Oh, excellent. Okay, well, I don't know how leverage works with NPCs, but
They can have leverage on you, and you can have leverage on them.
okay. Well, I'm going to leave with my dignity intact,
Okay.
so that I do not give them leverage from this.
Okay.
And I'm going to cut them deeply and inflict an extra stress on them.
Ooh. So they will be. He looks embarrassed, and there's maybe a shot as you move away of him maybe gripping the table, his arm shaking, like maybe he looks a little weak and pale, like maybe there's something wrong with him, but he's been hiding it.
Oh no!
But he clearly then suddenly brings himself back to his strength there to not show his weakness in front of his family, not reveal the terrible truth that he's been trying to hide from them. And then we're going to cut to Fernando. How have you observed all of this?
I think I'm hiding behind a very tall bush, like just like outside the door. There's probably like in the hallway, you know, like some very tall, like, you know, like, so I'm like kind of just peeking out from behind a bush, you know, got my eye patch on my left eye here. And so I think, yeah, I think I'm nearby, but I'm not in the room. Yeah.
So what would you do? What do you want to do here?
Oh my gosh.
What's your
So
goal?
Nieves has, yeah. Well, Nieves has been such a help to me. I feel
carried
like,
away by your twin brother.
I know, yeah. I mean, I'm just once again seeing how vicious my twin brother can be, especially with the way he's handling his. I mean, just their interaction. I'm just kind of blown away by that. So, man, just trying to figure out how I can do this. I would love to be able to.
You could do something out of place if you're trying to observe and figure out what's going on with the dynamics here at a distance. That's an easy move to go to.
I'd be interested.
Okay.
I think I'd be interested in giving that a go.
Okay. Who are you kind of looking at? Who do you want to read?
Yeah, so I think I'm primarily reading my brother. I'm reading Alejandro here.
Okay.
Right.
You have not been intimate with him recently.
No, I have not.
You are free of other distractions.
Yes.
And what's your base question?
Let's see. Are you taking advantage of your twin's reputation?
I don't think so.
I mean, only if I was to stretch it, I could say that I'm doing that by even just being in the compound, able to hide in there, is the fact that I've been walking around.
No, I'm not going to give you that one. It's a nice try, but no. Plus one.
All righty. Let's see. 2. Let's roll yellow dice. I got a 7.
7.
Just barely.
Yes. Oh, it's too bad I had a great move ready. Delicious. So you get to ask one question of Alejandro.
Let's see. Alejandro, let me see. I mean, I could go to the big question, but honestly, I couldn't. There's no way fictionally that I could actually figure that out here and now about. But I want to know. Okay, how can I can I really read into this how your character feels about your brother? Like, am I getting just brother squabble here, or is there something deeper? Or what? Yeah, if I read into that, what am I getting?
So Alejandro, how do you want to answer that?
The resentment against Ricardo has built up over years and years, and it is truly above and beyond Alejandro being a jerk. He hates his brother. When he leaves the I don't remember if it was the conservatory or the garden where this took place, but when he leaves and after he talks to his brother, he reaches up and like pauses and touches his eye patch, where the eye that his brother took from him used to be.
Oh,
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh man. Okay. All right.
There's probably
I
a
think-
sepia-toned brief inset of that scene from many episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I might duck out of view as soon as I get this vibe, and I think I kind of like have one of those moments where I'm like talking to myself, and the camera's just kind of on me, and it's kind of just looking incredibly troubled, and I'm like, I came here to find out if my brother would possibly, be kind enough to give me part of his liver. It's a minor surgery. All it would take is, just a little piece of his liver to help, to get me. He keeps his. It's just, it's a major surgery, so that's a big deal, but it wouldn't hurt. I don't think that he has the kindness in his heart to ever possibly agree to this. It's like, I don't think I can confront him with this. I need to find some other plan, something else. And I think I might stalk off at that point.
Okay, and keep in mind, you get +1 forward when you go to act on that information. So keep that in the back of your head.
Okay.
So the police, they don't follow Nieves, but they are kind of still standing around. The colonel is there. Marcella, your mother is sort of, flustered by all that's gone on. Your father is going to head off. Ronaldo is making his exit amongst the crowd of other servants. So, what do you want to do, Marcella?
I want to. I'm pretty upset with this Ronaldo guy. Feel like he's betrayed me and like what I asked him to do. With the whole necklace thing. So I think I'm gonna go up to him, and I'm just gonna start like giving him like piling him up with like all these silly things to do for me, like I need this and I need that, and like just like filling up his day. Like I'm asking so much stuff of him, and just like, yeah, like making little comments, like, you think he can handle that, like stuff like that.
So nothing is said, but you find him and you start doing that sort of obviously in front of other people, so he knows he has to do that. I think you're demanding what you deserve. You are putting that pressure on him. He's going to have to react here or decide how he's going to respond to you.
Yep. Yeah, I guess I'm like the center of attention in like
Definitely.
the group, but I don't think I'm really getting any of the other two.
His job.
Oh yeah, well, there's that. Yeah, okay.
I think that's the pressure you're putting, is that class struggle there.
Yeah. Cool. I'm gonna go for it. 7, 8, 9.
9. So on a hit, they choose one. I think that he, agrees in front of these people. You see him, yes, absolutely, Lady Marcella, absolutely. He's clearly not going to do it, but he visibly bows and scrapes and grovels in front of you, and I think it's going to give you leverage.
Okay, awesome.
Does that seem fair?
Yeah, I'll take leverage. I like leverage.
He's seen how strongly you reacted with Nieves, and he realizes that he really, really screwed that up. And
I get the impression that he's not actually taking it seriously, like it's just a show.
No, he is. He's like, he's afraid you're going to do something. That's the leverage that you've got, is that he's afraid that you might be pushing this further. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you take Nieves, Alejandro?
I'm gonna take Nieves to my bedroom. The bedroom that I think we had the first scene in, where Adriana was rummaging through the drawers.
Sure.
And I just lay her down on the big 4-poster bed, and pace beside her. Are you like totally unconscious, or are you awake?
Yeah, my eyes are fluttering, and I'm the color is returning to my cheeks, and I'm waking up.
Nieves.
¿Qué pasó? What happened?
You fell unconscious after the ridiculous accusations of the police. I know you are no thief.
Thank you, Alejandro. How am I ever going to get out of this situation? Who would have done that to me? Who would try to damage me like that?
The world is full of villains. You never know where the knife is going to come from. Nieves, do not worry. I will make sure the police do not bother you further.
Excellent.
What is this little whore doing in my bed?
Uh-oh.
Davis, you look up and you see Adriana standing in the doorway there. Big glass of wine in her hand. She's clearly had several cups at this point, several glasses.
Let's see. I'm trying to let's see what would be I'm currently frazzled, which is not making a lot of the moves that I'm trying to think of doing.
Yes.
Very doable. I think I'm going to try to act with desperation, maybe.
So you want to get out of here without her kind of, yelling at you, because that's the worst thing ever.
Yes. I want to diffuse the situation. I don't want to get Alejandro in any more trouble. I don't want to get myself in any more trouble. That's for sure. I know.
Are you doing this for love?
I am doing this for love.
Okay, so that's +1, and you're definitely in over your head. So roll with a +2.
+2. Okay. Come on. 8. Thank God. Okay.
Okay. So you'll get out of there and push through. And when you push by, that wine glass tips.
Oh, no.
And this is your best uniform. And it just, the red wine just pours down the front of it.
Oh, I burst into tears.
You're a maid. You know how to clean that up.
Oh, come on, guys. Give me a pobrecita here.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a pobrecita. I also think there's I'm going to walk back to Marcella in the previous scene for a wild and raging beauty mark there. But yeah, so tears going down. Where do you run to, Nieves?
I run to my little room.
Okay. So you fleeing there.
Yeah.
Alejandro.
You didn't have to do that. What is wrong with you?
Apparently I waste wine.
Oh, you are wasted, all right. What is the matter with you recently? Skulking around, drinking. It's the middle of the day.
You've driven me to this drinking.
No. You drove yourself there. It's your own fault.
You'd like it to be that easy, wouldn't you?
Don't you dare blame me. Your drinking is what started this. Your drinking, your gambling, the debts that I had to pay off.
Ooh.
Ooh, I think you're striking out
Yeah.
again.
Oh, I should have asked questions. Sorry. I just instinctively rolled.
But that's okay. Well, see, you've got, they definitely just wronged you.
Yeah.
I don't think you caught them off guard because she knows what's coming.
Yeah. Am I taking control of this situation?
I think so.
Okay. In that case, my roll was a total of 8.
8. Okay. So you inflict that stress, but you give her 1 leverage on you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you get to pick one of those.
I feel like a jerk just inflicting stress on everyone. But that is my role. Yeah, I'm gonna inflict additional stress.
Okay. So you hit her hard on the gambling, the debts. Like, it's clearly something that you said you wouldn't bring up again, and her eyes get wide, and she throws the glass down, and it shatters like her heart as it hits the ground there. And she will storm off, and just now tears, her makeup running there. She kind of stumbles back to her part of the house. She's crushed under your thumb there.
I go over to where the glass lays smashed on the ground, and I kneel down and slowly start picking up the pieces. One of them cuts me, and I start bleeding, and I just keep going.
Okay. Awesome. So police are on the grounds. Preparations are being made for the party, despite all of this. The detective, or rather the colonel, police colonel who's here, is now just kind of hovering around for the chance to be in the midst of all of this. But no one is questioning Nieves yet. That's some sort of delay on that. But there's lots of chaos that you could take advantage of, Fernando.
I think it's time to reveal myself to another person. I think we probably see that scene with Alejandro and with Adriana, and she storms off, right? And where she goes back to her part of the house?
Yes.
I think she gets back to her room, and I'm waiting in it.
What are you doing here? Is this more of your cruel lies?
I take off my eye patch.
Oh.
You are not Alejandro.
No, I am not. My name is Fernando. I am Alejandro's long-lost brother. Dun, dun, dun.
How? But how? Why? Why are you here?
That is a very long story. During all of my humanitarian work overseas, I contracted a disease that I'm dying. I need a liver transplant. I came to meet my brother, who I just discovered lives, because he's the only one who can save my life.
She walks forward and she puts her hands on either side of your face. She goes, "He will never help you."
I know. I've seen it. I've seen the anger and the rage and the meanness in him. I don't know what to do.
I see such hope in your eyes, both your eyes, like he used to be.
This is why I came to you. You know him best. I didn't know who else to talk to.
What is it that you want?
I don't know. You say there's no way that we can do this. Is there any way that we could convince him? Is there any way that I could talk to him in a way that he would be receptive to meeting his new brother, to doing something? Yes, it would be surgery. He wouldn't die. It would just be, I just need a small piece of his liver. He would be fine. But what I've seen, he just doesn't seem like the man with compassion, with heart. And I figured if anyone could help me find a way to change his, his thinking, to be able to find a way to make him see reason here, it would be you. It was I that spoke to you the other day asking what I possibly could have done to make you hate me so much. And I've learned so much about how awful I am and seen the pain in your eyes, and I had to talk to you again.
You say surgery?
Yes. Relatively minor. He'd have to be, both of us, of course it would be more extensive on me. They'd be putting in an entirely new liver, but for him it would just be, he'd be out for a couple hours. They'd take a small piece of his liver and then he'd wake up and a little bit of recovery, but he would be fine.
What if he didn't wake up?
Oh.
Yeah, I think my eyes get big and I'm kind of taken aback. I'm like, what do you mean? I didn't come here to do harm to anyone. I don't know.
Listen. Look at this house. Look at this estate. You look so much like him. It would be no work, no effort. You could step into his shoes and you would have, and she puts her hand on your cheek, everything of his.
I think I kind of turn to the side and I start thinking to myself, and I'm kind of just processing this. I'm like I have no desire to harm anyone here. I just want to live and be able to continue doing good works. But Alejandro, from everything I've seen, he hurts everyone he loves, and everyone he doesn't love. He's a scourge on this place. You may be right. I hate to say it, but you might be right.
Let me find a doctor.
Yes. Let me think further on this, but possibly.
She nods. You will make the right decision. Let's cut from there back to Marcella. Marcella, you've kind of put Ronaldo under your heel, but there's all this confusion stuff going on. Have weird Nieves and the police officer is still around, and your father. What do you want to do?
I think. All right. So, best way to go about this. She is going to. I have a couple lines of thought. I'm going to pick one and go with I would like to. Can I try to get two people in the same room together?
Sure, absolutely. So who do you want to have together?
I would like Nieves to be around, and I would like Fernando to be around.
Are you guys cool with that?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe that Fernando, you kind of go to talk to Nieves after this strange scene with Adriana, and of course you would go to her room, and you hear her crying. Maybe you go in, and that's the point at which Marcella arrives. Does that seem good for you, Marcella?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
I think Marcella. I think she marches in, and she's like, yeah, she looks like really angry. And she makes this big entrance, and she comes in and she slaps the twin. Sorry, I forgot his name.
Fernando.
She slaps him across the face and says, like, "How could you?" And she proceeds to like spin this big fabrication of, you know, she was talking to Ronaldo and like found out that like it was you who had framed Nieves, and you know, you had placed it there and you just, you know, you needed someone to pawn it off on, and it was one of your thugs had stolen it, and you thought, you know, who's going to care about this maid?
I'm lagging pretty bad here. I'm sorry, I missed some of that. I'm trying to. So you're. How am I involved in this? I guess I'm confused.
She's believing you're Alejandro and accusing Alejandro of.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So all right. I think I look around. What? I'm
trying to use my big entrance move. So since I have leverage on you, from way back when I thought that you were the other guy. Anyway. So yeah, I'm coming in and accusing you of trying to frame this all on Nieves, and hoping to have caught you off guard, and
it probably does. Fernando, what's your reaction to that? How do you want to deal with her?
So I think it's a moment of absolute bewilderment, and then looking over at Nieves, and so I'm being accused of this thing, and I'm kind of like looking at Nieves on like, do I agree with this, or do I, like, you know, I'm trying to get a read from you on which direction I should go with it, because I have no idea what's happening right now.
Yeah, and we have no reason to think that Marcella knows who you really are, right?
Right. So
right, I forgot that you knew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Fernando and I are like, no, but
because I could confess to it here.
I actually think I'm going to have Marcella roll a move here before that may affect this, because she definitely struck out at you.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
So Marcella, let's have you. I think you caught them off guard.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they've wronged you.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But you are the center of attention.
Great. That's 13.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So, Fernando, you have to mark 2 stress.
Okay.
Oh man.
And you get 1 leverage over her.
Okay.
But then she gets to pick 2 choices from the list. What do you think, Marcella?
I'm going to.
I have an idea if you're interested. If you take something from me, it could be that with the smack, my eye patch falls off.
Oh.
Up to you. Up to you, though. Just an option.
Yeah, no, I'm into that for sure.
Okay, so that's 1 pick. And the other one?
I think I don't want to. I want to give you the leverage because I feel like leverage is hard to come by. So maybe I'll inflict an additional stress.
Oh yeah, more stress is good. So that's 3 stress, Fernando, and then the eye patch gets smacked off, and I imagine that there's a freeze shot of Marcella staring, and Fernando realizing the eye patch has come off. Nieves, what do you do?
I grab my knitting and just begin to knit furiously. Click, 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 click. I'm looking at Marcella, and I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at Marcella, and I'm looking at you, and I say, it's a miracle. The baby Jesus has given you back your eye.
Is there any chance of that fooling you, Marcella?
I don't think so. I think she knows her uncle and his disfigured eye pretty well.
So what's your reaction, Marcella?
I think that she's
like the door so that no one else knows what's
her position is like still in like the post slap And then she just like stares and like her mouth drops open and says like, what? Like, you're not Alejandro. Like, what is going on here?
I think Fernando starts by getting quickly up and going to the door and making sure the door is shut so no one else can hear or see what's going on. And my head will kind of drop, and I'll tell you. Done. So I think I'm like,
we're gonna have to have you repeat that because you lagged there a little bit.
Okay. Did I come through? Did anything come through?
You said, "I will tell you."
Okay. Okay. That I am your uncle, Fernando Alejandro. I am Alejandro's long lost twin.
Oh my God.
You can't tell anyone. This is a secret. Very few people know. Nieves here is one of the only people who knows, and I've interacted with you a couple of times now as Alejandro, and I apologize for being brusque and unkind with you. That's not who I am. I know that's who my brother is, but that's not me.
And Marcella goes and like sits down on a chair, and it's just like, whew, this is so much. Why are you here, and how can I help you?
I think this is probably, where I sit down next to you and I say, well, it's a long story, and it probably cuts to commercial, so we don't have to I don't have to give you the whole thing, but probably comes back, comes back with us sitting there and me saying, and that's why I'm here, and I'm dying.
And this is all happening in a room the size of like a broom closet.
Yes, it's very small.
Probably a lot of like upper views, maybe with the camera, like just the tops of our heads.
Let me cut from that. I'm going to come back to Nieves' reaction when we come back to that scene. But Alejandro, let's come back to you. I'm sure you have things to do.
Oh, there's a lot going on. Oh, jeez. I honestly don't know where to go. There's a wife, there's a brother, there's a union leader who wants to assassinate me.
Yes. Detectives on the grounds. They're your gangs. They're gangs downstairs.
I don't like this at all.
You might need to put your brother in the ground, vanish, You've thought about that.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on a second. I'm gonna look at something really quick.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to approach the police officers. You said the Colonel Perez?
Colonel Perez. Mr. Delgado, it is very good to see you. I apologize before for the roughness of the entrance. We were told that the necklace had been found, and you can understand our efforts here.
Yes, I do understand. I'm sorry for my own roughness.
No, it is nothing. No, not at all.
The harshness I directed towards my brother, there is a reason for it.
My own brother, he is no favorite of mine, but brothers are as brothers are.
I reach up and I take off my eye patch and I reveal the scarred mess where my eye used to be.
Oh, it is quite an injury.
I know how brothers are. This is what mine did to me.
Well then.
I put the eye patch back I apologize if it shocked you.
No. Believe me, I've been a police officer for many years. Very little shocks me. I did not intend to come here and get in the middle of family affairs. That is not my intention. I wanted to make sure that everything was done smoothly and did not get in the way of the Delgado family.
Well, I appreciate that, but I am glad you are here.
Yes, your family has always been very good to me.
I know that. Unfortunately, I have something to show you. This might shock you as well. Would you please come with me?
Absolutely.
But I suggest you bring your men.
Well, let us go, you and I, and you can explain it to me first. We'll see how these things are. We'll let them settle their business.
Okay. And Alejandro leads him into the main house.
This is lovely.
Yes.
Beautiful. The tile work, so expensive.
Yes. My brother has expensive tastes. And some people wonder, where does he get the money? You know,
you and your brother are businessmen. I've heard talk elsewhere, but they make nothing of it. I know that you two are good men.
Sir, my brother is not a good man. And I open up the door to my brother's bedroom that I've led him to. And inside, I'm going to spend stress to do the flashback move.
Yes.
I'm going to spend 3 stress to do it.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
And I have planted every scrap of illicit material I have in my brother's house. There is like a stack of cocaine in his room. I discovered this earlier today.
That's awesome.
Let's have you roll.
All right, what am I rolling?
You're rolling with +3.
Oh, right. Okay, well, I didn't need to spend anything. I got a 13.
Awesome. You get to choose one and tell the GM what it was. Fabricate a piece of evidence, arrange for someone to be in the right place at the right time, or you stowed away something hidden.
I feel like fabricating a piece of evidence in this case is the most fitting. My brother, I never believed the rumors. I tried to stay out of his business, but the thefts, the police everywhere, I had to talk to him. I came in to confront him, and I found this instead. Sir, please. Go easy on my brother.
Oh, man.
But no, he is not a good man.
Master Delgado, how could I bring myself, a lowly police officer, to bring such shame to your family? It almost breaks my heart to have to do such a thing, but if you insist. And he lays his hand next to where there's the stacks of money.
I do, sir. And perhaps I should inform your men. I will go send them the message and leave you here alone for just a minute.
If that is what you wish, then I can certainly bring justice to where justice needs to be.
Thank you for being so clear-eyed.
So that is what they say. That is what they call me, Captain Clear-Eyed Perez. Yes, absolutely. And you walk out, and we cut to the scene of him going with the money.
Oh my God. Is nothing below, Alejandro?
Nothing.
And now with your brother's weak heart, this could end him.
Yes. And we're going to come back to that. I think we're going to take our mid-session break here. We'll take 5 minutes, and we'll come back with the three people in a closet scene, trying to figure out what's going on. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
All right. By the way, I think you can mark a gasp of horror for what you just did to your brother there.
Excellent. So I thought I was going to do the -2 to process feelings and spot, but I think instead I'm going to do it to express love and demand, because it'll be more fun when I fail those rolls.
Absolutely. Let's see. I'm trying to think. The meltdown stress.
Oh, hey, Jesse.
Oops. Yeah, I think I marked something on yours. I just realized I messed up my stress and put it on your thing.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought that
Yeah,
was
let me
Lloyd
take.
doing that. All right.
Nope, I messed that up. Sorry, I put it on the wrong
No
thing.
problem.
It's like, why is that not there? What's happening? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I took them off. You're good.
Cool.
So-
I was going to say, Jesse, I don't know if you already
Yes.
did this, but since you're lagging, if you leave the hangout and try to come back, sometimes that can.
All right,
improve
I'm
it.
gonna do that real fast. Then I'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see.
So it looks like striking out at someone is the best way to clear stress from someone, or having somebody demand something of you allows you to clear stress.
All right, hopefully that'll be better. You guys can hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
5 by 5.
Thanks for bearing with me.
Sure, not at all. Had terrible nights of tech before, so. So let's come back from the commercial break then, and we've had the long, convoluted explanation of Fernando's presence here to Marcella and Nieves. Nieves, have you heard this full story before, or is some of this a revelation to you?
No, some of it is definitely a revelation as as Fernando speaks, and then there's sort of a soft dissolve to our faces. I am surprised to hear some of these things. Some of the details of his work with Doctors Without Borders is it's just so impressive, and I mean, he looks so much like my love Alejandro, but he lacks that bad boy sexiness. Other than that, he's perfect.
That fire, that's not sure. And Marcella, what's your reaction to this revelation?
I think she's like beside herself and confused, and then like kind of excited by the idea of like, having an uncle who's not a big jerk.
So I think if this is okay, I think at this point I go to a demand what you deserve, and I say, I look very deeply into your eyes, Marcella, and I say, I've put my life in your hands by telling you this and revealing who I am. You cannot tell your uncle. You cannot tell anyone. It's like I am here for a purpose that I've already described to you, but now that I've met you, I want to be in your life. I want to know you, and I worry if my brother learns of my existence and why I'm here, I'll be thrown out on the street, or worse. You know him. I know you. I know you love him. I know he is family, but I worry. And yeah, so you cannot tell anyone.
All right. Are you offering them something of value?
I hope so. I hope I'm offering
seems
me
reasonable.
in her life, and I want this relationship, and
That
yeah.
seems fair. Marcella, do you think you love him in this moment?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it's this new uncle who seems like a really great guy. Sure.
I don't think you're taking advantage of your twin's reputation directly. So, but I think a +2 is going to be pretty substantial there.
Cool. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, rolling with a +2. We got a 7.
7. So so Marcella, what do you want to choose? Do you want to concede to their will? Do you want to escalate and deny him? Do you want to weasel out of it? Do you want to run away?
I think I'll concede to their will.
Okay. You don't have any stress to clear, so
well, I think it's him who they can clear chess,
right?
Or
I think it is that he'll end up owing you leverage, is what it is.
But isn't he doing
target demands? Okay, so they.
They can. Right. Okay, yeah.
I've had this problem with PbtA moves before. Actually, my changing the lost moves, I had to rewrite because I was like, I've lost all the pronouns.
Yeah, I'll take a leverage.
Okay, so you now have leverage over your new uncle.
Beautiful.
Nice.
So, do you guys have a next step, or does something happen?
Well, I think the immediate thing Marcella would say is like, but he'll never do it, right? Like he only looks out for himself. Like he would never go under for, you're a sibling, but he doesn't know you, and even if he did, he'd probably say no.
Yeah. I think I get this distant look in my eyes and I say, I know. And then I say, but give me time to figure out how to make this work. And then you hear my voice kind of harden a little bit and sound a little more confident. And I say, I deserve to live. Yes, I deserve to live. I'm like, I don't know how we're going to make this work, but somehow just please don't tell him. Don't tell anyone that I'm here.
You got it.
And I think it's at that point that you guys will start hearing like shouting and sobbing from another part of the house and yelling.
Oh, now what?
I patches back on.
Okay. And you probably hear the other servants calling for you, Nieves, and maybe even Marcella, your mother, shrieking.
Out of the room! Get out of the room! Let's go.
And you will come pouring. Well, except for Fernando, I assume is held back a little bit. Into the room, and you will see these police officers, and they're holding your mother back, and you can see that your father is in handcuffs, Marcella. And you'll see Colonel Perez is there, and he will say, well, Master Delgado, it was very clever of you to try to throw us off with this whole necklace business, but thankfully you have a brother who knows right from wrong and pointed us towards the evidence of your misdeeds. Take him away.
Wait, this is impossible.
It looks like the police are taking him away. Alejandro's apparently turned in his brother for something.
Marcella is gonna run, run up to her father and like be like, no, like this can't be, like there's a mistake here, obviously, and maybe start like, hitting one of the police officers like on the chest and being like, what are you doing? Like this is not right. You can't be fooled this easily. Like someone's setting him up. This has to be.
Who are you accusing of lying?
Who am I accusing of lying? maybe like the what happens? Maybe the police officer, the guy who was
Yeah, the colonel.
You're going to accuse Colonel Perez of lying instead of your uncle?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you have an audience. You're the center of attention. I don't think you have any evidence.
I have zero evidence. I have a hunch. Yeah, that does it. That's 11.
That's 11. You get to choose 3.
Woohoo. I'll take the well, they admit their falsehood or mark off stress.
He will take stress.
Right.
Like he's like, well, you're a girl. You don't understand how these things work. You're just a child, and he's flustered, and he goes to push this further.
They're scared, flustered, or whatever. They must act with desperation before they can act against me.
Okay.
And then maybe like I'll reiterate, like, like I'll speak to the people in the crowd and like, try to like garner some support and like, maybe try to get people worked up a bit, being like, we all know my father and we all know who else lives around here. And like, you can't all believe this.
Now, Alejandro isn't on the scene.
Right? I don't know if he would admit it, but I think hopefully the people in the room.
There's a delay here, and your mother's going, we have to call our lawyer. They can't take him away. And certainly he's being delayed, and the colonel's a little irritated by this. Your uncle's not present to hear your accusation, but so it's kind of been a chaotic. Eves? Anything?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of what I could do to.
Let me put a pin on that. Fernando.
Oh, yeah.
Your brother has just framed your other brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's about to be taken away. Marcella's trying to stop this.
Yeah. Have I gotten any sense in the time that I'm here, like, because we haven't really seen too much of Marcella's father. Have I gotten any sense whether he's as bad as Alejandro or not?
I don't know. What do you think? You tell me.
I think it would have to be. I mean, they both, like, he's the head brother. They've got this ridiculous estate that I can't imagine, just of course, the craziness of these stories. I can't imagine it was gained by, like totally above board means.
He also cut his brother's eye out. So
yeah, exactly. No, he's brutal. So
but Marcella loves him.
I know. But if I try to, I know. But if I do anything to get Alejandro arrested, then he's in jail and I can't get a liver. I don't know.
So tasty.
I am so torn here. This is one of those, like, I think the camera has to be looking at me, and I'm looking, from, at Marcella, and I like, wanting to help, but I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. You might be frozen at the moment on this one. Shoot,
all right.
I'm trying to see.
You want to try maybe processing your feelings out loud?
I could do that, honestly. Yeah, let's. Yeah, I think I hit that a little earlier, and I forgot to bring it up. I meant to do that.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So, trapped. We see the shots in the room and then back to you, and Marcella upset. You'll see her father, and maybe we get that shot that shows that maybe he's not. This is taking a toll on him. maybe there's an inset shot. We do a reaction shot of Alejandro drinking with his gang members in his study, and then back to you.
Okay.
So we're going to ask the audience members if they're rooting for you.
Right.
Yes.
Are they,
Yes.
And what about you, Kyle? Are you rooting for him?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not quite sure what he's doing, but I'm rooting for him.
Rooting for him to do something to help in some way. Okay, let's have you roll.
So that's +3 then, yeah?
+3.
All right, reroll. Let's roll. All right, so that is a 6 + 3. That's a 9.
Okay, so you get to choose one of those things.
Okay. Okay. I have an idea. I want the audience to tell me how I might get the police to think that it's not. No, what's his name that's being carted off?
Ricardo.
That it's not Ricardo, but it is. Let's see. Who do I can't pin it on the brother.
What
Would
about he's not doing well, right? So maybe maybe he's got to go to the infirmary, and there might be a doctor there.
Thinking of the driver, like if I'm bringing back in another NPC, maybe pin it on him, because like he tried to pin it on someone else and have it be like kind of an unintended bunch of like everybody trying to assign blame to someone else. Or anybody have any other ideas who I should pin this on?
I have a suggestion.
Please.
Do you know that Yolanda is an undercover officer?
And Yolanda is who?
One of his gang members, one of Alejandro's gang members. Do you want to call her out, force her to act?
Yes, that sounds awesome.
Assume that she's on the scene.
Okay.
Yeah, she would know this is a frame.
Yeah. Oh, geez. You mean like trying to get her to? I guess I'm not sure how to use that though.
Let's think here. A way you can put that.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to come up with something here.
It's a thorny situation.
Because
normally there'd be a room full of writers working on this. It's just the four of us.
Oh well, I mean, you could find Yolanda and brag that you framed your brother.
Yes. No. But again, I don't want to get him locked up or in jail at this point because I don't know.
That's right.
Like these are the only two people that I want to see gone. Is like, but I desperately need this transplant. But that's the obvious frame. But
you could, God, if only had some like surgical mask to go in like you're a doctor.
I guess I'm not sure what you mean. Like, what do you?
Like let's say that Ricardo collapses.
Mm-hmm.
You drop the eye patch, go in with a surgical mask, but you're the family physician.
Mm-hmm.
There are all kinds of possibilities. But,
okay.
We're throwing a lot of stuff. I'm gonna give you a second to catch your breath.
Sorry, guys.
How you want to do it?
Okay. I think I'm going to just go with the audience tells me how I might get and I'm going to be less specific on this because I want to see where this could go. I'm going to say, well, the audience tells me how I could get the police to release Ricardo and not believe that he's, or for some reason or another, not cart him off.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Yolanda might, jump onto or get into the car at the last minute and just be like, there's no way that this man has done this crime. Alejandro is responsible for it. And they just like drive him like,
Well, I want to come to a concrete action that he can do. If you're asking us what you can do to stop this, That's the question you put to us.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Let's do it. Let's see where this goes. I'm fine with it.
If that's the question you're asking, then I think the answer is you have to admit that you framed Ricardo.
Okay.
Playing as Alejandro.
Absolutely. All right. I'll do it.
There is no other way.
Okay. Yeah.
So what do? You've got a choice. You don't have to do it.
I don't have to. I don't. I can't. I can't. I need this liver so badly. I'm like, you see the sweat beating down my brow, and I'm about to step forward with my eye patch on, and then I slink back, kind of looking ashamed, and yeah.
Well, yeah, you're starting to look jaundiced a little bit. Like it's.
No, I can't. I can't.
Marcella, your father looks at you.
Oh no.
And collapses to the ground.
Oh my God! I scream.
She runs over to him and collapses on him, and she's just wailing and frantic and flailing.
Where does the scene cut to from there? What's the outcome of that, Marcella? Is the next scene in the hospital? Is it at a funeral? Is it the doctor coming out of his bedroom? What's the next scene?
Yeah, maybe it's the doctor coming out of his bedroom. Like maybe, the police have tentatively said we can't be causing this stress to the man, so let him rest in his bed, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
They put officers at the door, watch him, and the doctor comes out and says, "To you, Marcella, and your mother, your father has been very ill for some time. He did not wish to speak of this, but he has been looking for treatment. His liver has ceased to function as it should, and he is dying.
Oh, man.
The only hope is assistance from his own brother, but he will not ask him for that." He looks at you, Marcella, and says, I fear that his stubbornness may cost him his life.
What is it with these brothers and their livers going to crap?
I beg your pardon?
Happened to my grandfather too.
I was not aware it ran in your family.
Apparently so. Well, where is his brother? He'll surely he'll do something.
As I understand it, the colonel was going to go and speak with him.
Colonel, hey? And Marcella's gonna run off at that.
Okay. I'm going to cut to the study. Guys are drinking, enjoying yourself there. It's been a bit. Smoking cigars, all of that, Alejandro, and there'll be that.
Come in. Join the morning.
The door slides open, and you will see Colonel Perez say, Mr. Delgado, I wonder if I might have a word in private with you.
Of course. I dismiss my men. And Yolanda.
Yolanda maybe lingers a moment longer, trying to assess what's going on, but then she'll leave. So, I just wanted to inform you of current events, Mr. Delgado. Thanks to your evidence, we were able to arrest your brother. However, he collapsed during the arrest. And, well, I couldn't have this get too complicated. So he is under guard in his bedroom, and a doctor has been called for him.
I see. That's unfortunate.
And his family seemed very upset, as you can imagine. You might wish to console them.
Of course. I'll speak to them immediately, and I finish my drink.
We will, if you wish, we can remain here to try and make sure that nothing untoward occurs.
Of course.
Or if you would prefer, certainly we don't want to be too much of an overbearing presence, so I could just simply leave just a couple of men here if you think that would be better.
I think so, yes. All the officers might cause my brother more stress.
Yes. As you wish. You speak very, very wisely there. So I will do that. That seems the most prudent approach.
Was Marcella coming to find me?
Yes, she is. I want to check on Nieves first.
Okay.
And then I want to bring Marcella into connection with you, and then we'll see how Fernando deals with his lack of moral fiber.
I'm going to turn Fernando into me.
Nieves.
I am going to. I actually want to try to get some time with Alejandro. So I don't know if I should wait. Maybe I'm following Marcella.
Oh, do you want to do that where you're following her?
Yeah. In fact, I might even do a keys to the castle move on that.
Okay, that sounds good. So Marcella, let's cut to you. Are you storming over to your uncle's house?
I think I'm waiting to like catch him off guard. So I'm like watching for him.
Okay.
Okay.
So you will see him come out, and he gathers himself together. He's clearly been drinking. He speaks companionably with the colonel, like they're old friends. And then he begins to walk towards the house. You will see, as he begins to walk towards the house, Ronaldo kind of standing by the house, kind of hidden in the bushes, watching Alejandro. What do you want to do?
Ronaldo, hey, what's he up to? I want to wait until Alejandro is like entering the house with like a lot of people.
Okay.
And then I want to like burst in right behind him.
Okay.
And as he walks in, I'm gonna come in with like this big smile on my face and like announce to everyone that like he's agreed to do it. Like he'll help. Like he's gonna.
So there are servants there. There's some of the police. There's family friends. The family lawyer is there. The doctor, Marcella, your mother is there. They're all in that main hall as Alejandro comes in. You're getting ready to be a doting brother. And Marcella, tell us about this big entrance.
Yeah, she like bursts in behind him, and she like gives him like the biggest hug, and she's like, "Oh, thank you, thank you. Like I knew you were a good person, and that you would, so selfless of you to offer to, give him the transplant he needs, and you're the best." And give him like a big kiss, and then like go up and hugs her mother, and it's like this real heartwarming moment for all
and
the
mother
workers.
goes, Alejandro, I thank you so much for agreeing to help Ricardo, to give part of your liver to him.
Alejandro just quietly looks around at everyone gathered here.
I think this is going to be a demand what they deserve from Marcella on you that you're going to have to respond to. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So Marcella, you are the center of attention, but I don't think you're giving him anything of value.
No, not so
And
much.
I don't think he loves you right now.
Well, that's fair.
So let's have you roll with a +1.
All right. 8.
Okay. So look at those choices there, Alejandro.
Okay. I wonder what escalating and denying you would look like.
Well, Nieves is an audience probably at this point.
True.
Okay. I am going to escalate and deny you. I will mark stress. And I smile and I say, yes, I will help my brother. I will give him part of my liver. As soon as he cuts one of his eyeballs out of his head and gives it to me.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
man is a savage.
Nieves, you hear this. You see this.
Oh.
Probably also see Ronaldo skulking in the shadows outside.
I want to see if I can spot something out of place.
Sure.
Let's see what he's up to.
Who are you reading? Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that he put the thing in my room, but
That's true.
I suspect him a little bit. I don't know who else would have done it. Okay, so am I in over my head? Not really at the moment.
But you have been intimate with him.
True.
And you're out here by yourself. So I'll give you the other +1 on that.
Okay. So I'm +2?
Yep.
All right. Let's see what happens. Ten. Nice.
What do you want to ask?
Okay. What is he planning?
He is planning to murder his father, Alejandro.
What? Oh my God, that explains so much. How could I get him to reconsider?
Confront him, show him Fernando. There are a couple of interesting ways to do that.
Yeah, I like that. I will suddenly appear next to him where he's skulking and say, Ronaldo, whatever it is you're thinking of doing, don't do it. There's something.
Thinking of justice.
There's someone I must show you. It's important that your father survive.
Why should I listen to you? You turned my back to throw yourself into his arms.
Well, this is it's a good question. Let's see here. God. Well, it's in your best interest. If you will meet this person, you'll understand the importance. But it is of course up to you.
I'm gonna roll into that demand what you deserve.
All right. Okay.
We're gonna resolve that, and I'm gonna pop back in, and then we'll see where this goes.
Okay. I think I'm in maybe slightly in over my head.
Now you are.
But I am offering something of value.
True.
So.
And he does love you.
Well, that's good. All right. So 11.
So what option do you want to remove?
They concede to my will.
You want to remove that option?
No.
Which one do you definitely not want him to do?
Oh, not want him to do? I do not want him to escalate and deny.
He doesn't want to. I think it's fair. I think he will concede to your will, but take leverage from you.
Okay.
Okay, like just this once, I will listen to your words. And he will head off with you to go and find Fernando.
All right.
Let's cut back. After this outburst by your uncle, Marcella denies you.
Oh, man. The worst. What does she do here other than just break down?
Is she could attack him verbally? She could break down. I mean, she could well, there are some options here. What's your tactic?
My tactic.
Are you wearing stilettos?
How to maybe I'm like just like completely shocked and like, you know, taken aback, and is just like staring at him, and is like scrutinizing him really well, and like, you know, hoping to find, you know, maybe like try to spot something out of place on him.
Okay, that kind of, there's got to be something.
Yes,
some
exactly.
opportunity. Okay. You haven't been intimate with him.
I have not.
You're not free of other distractions.
Uh-oh.
Do you think you're the center of attention still?
I'm pretty close to it, probably.
I'll give you the +1. That seems fair, but not the other two questions.
All right. And that's an 8.
You get one question that you may ask Alejandro. Alejandro's been answering questions all night.
Okay, so Alejandro is, you know, he's been partying, he's been, you know, having a good time celebrating all this. How could I get him to slip up and like admit his innocence, you know, not admit it, but like let it slip, you know?
Interesting. Well, he's already a bit drunk, so that'll make things a little easier for you. I can't remember. Do you know much about what I do?
Do you? Let's. Do you think you know that he's a drug lord?
I think that we've been living in close proximity for a while, so I probably don't know the specifics, but like I probably got a pretty good hunch.
Yeah, at this point I'm it's been a day of emotional turmoil for me too. I'm drunk. If you call me out on my crimes, my behavior, I would probably slip up, maybe refer to, probably not say, I framed him, but say something. I don't know.
Sure.
It does seem like she could accuse you of lying, and kind of push on that, and maybe get you to say something along those lines. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to get a +1 forward on that if you want to roll into that.
Yep.
Okay. You have an audience.
All right.
Have no evidence.
No evidence.
Just your gut.
A pretty strong hunch.
There's a +3 with the +1 forward.
Let's do it. I feel like it keeps switching between the same two rolls. That's like my third 7.
You get to pick 2.
So I'm accusing
him of having been the one behind all of the framing here.
Okay. They're surprised, scared, or flustered. Maybe they'd never seen me be so fiery, and he's just like taken aback a bit.
Okay.
And admit their falsehood or mark off stress.
Okay. So that's the 2.
And I get one more?
Nope, because you rolled a 7.
Plus my 3. Sorry.
So 10. Yeah, so you get one more.
I'm right. I don't quite get how that one works, but
I think that would be if you weren't correct, or if it wasn't established.
Sure.
That you would make that choice. That's the way I'm reading that one.
Okay.
I think. Sorry, I was just gonna say. I think it kind of also might work for you have a crowd watching you. It might work to make them feel like you're right.
Well, that's a good way to read that too. Like, even if he doesn't admit it, other people are like, "Oh yeah, it might be him."
I think though I'm finally gonna, admit falsehood.
What do you say?
I'm flustered. I'm drunk. Get away from me, child. How dare you? How dare you come at me like this? I'm the mastermind. I have the brains in this family. I do everything. I make the money. My brother is nothing. My brother sits on his ass all day, reaps the rewards for my work.
And what do you do that's so great?
And I get in real close, and I just reek of tequila. I have done terrible things. I have hurt people that I cared about more than you, girl. So, fuck off.
So that gets beeped, but there is that sort of shocked moment when you get in the face, and we cut from there overlay face to the face of Fernando. Still, what have I done? Where is Ronaldo? Where are Ronaldo and Neves going to find you, Fernando?
I think
And don't say her little room because that's so tiny.
Yeah. No, I think I may be. I think I may be sitting in the library. Like, I think that's somewhere that Nieves occasionally goes to, and they showed me this place, and rarely, people are rarely there during the day, so it's kind of an easy place for me to go and have some time when I'm not trying to interact with people.
Nieves.
Yeah. So I will, before we walk in, I'll prepare Ronaldo, and I say, you're going to see something that's going to shock you. Do not yell out. And then I'll open the door and sort of hustle him in, close the door behind me.
There you are, you dog!
What? Who
brandishes a knife?
It's
what? Nieves, what is happening here? What?
It's not who you think it is, Ronaldo. Your father has an identical twin. This is actually your uncle, and he needs your help.
Take the eye patch off.
But how?
Are you saying this is also my nephew?
Yes.
I think even with if he has that kind of stunned look on his face and he's still got the knife in my hand, I'll rush up and try and hug him and be like, nephew. Like,
who are you?
I am Fernando. I am Alejandro's long lost twin brother.
And Nieves will just real quickly sort of explain how the two zygotes or whatever they stayed together in the womb and
But how are you here? What are you doing?
Well, I'll tell it to you from the beginning, and I think we have to have another cut, another commercial cut.
Okay.
Because it's such a story at this point.
I will give you a point for the father being like totally lost on the couch. So that's his nephew?
Yeah.
So you can mark XP for that.
All right.
Yes, I think this is the key, Fernando. I think that Ronaldo can help us get the help, willing or not, from Alejandro.
But I think I talked to Nieves and said, "What do you need from me?"
What do you think, Ronaldo? Is there something that we could do?
Besides cut the black heart from my father?
He doesn't need a heart transplant, though.
Liver, heart, I'm no surgeon. But I have a knife.
Well,
there is a doctor on the grounds.
And I believe Adriana is working on that issue.
She was the one who brought him, the family physician.
Good.
Interesting.
Good.
Could maybe we need to get Alejandro to a certain place where the doctor can work. And perhaps he will be a better man. Perhaps by giving you a piece of his liver while under duress and anesthetized against his will, he will emerge like a butterfly from a cocoon, better man.
I like this. So I almost kind of at this point want to say plans are actually already in motion for this, and I'm interested in doing a flashback to preparations if possible.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yep.
Like to spend some stress to have kind of the idea is that I want to have it planned out with, obviously with Adriana and whatnot, and the doctor, that this is going to happen. And I think the idea is to hopefully stow something away hidden, which will be a sedative in a drink that Alejandro is going to drink while alone.
Okay. How much stress are you marking?
I've got 2 stress. I'm marking 2 stress.
Okay. Ooh.
But no, wait. I can mark 3 because it's adding to my stress, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's add all 3. Let's go for it here. So I am adding 3 stress. Let me mark those.
Yeah, you have to choose your.
I do. Okay, so I have to choose one of the diamond ones. I'm going to.
So is that a meltdown then?
No, not until he hits the last one.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go to +1. I'm going to go to bitter, and I guess I have to take the other one. I have to take frazzled as well. So I'm now
That you
distracted,
do.
frazzled, and bitter. All right.
What a rough couple days for Fernando.
Yeah, this is crazy stuff, and I am dying. So
Yes.
All right.
Go ahead and roll.
Okay. 2d6 +3 here. Let's do it. Oh man. Okay, I rolled a 4. I got a 7. I
7.
barely did that. Oh my
Nice.
gosh, I'm glad I used all the stress.
Oh yeah, because that would have been very fun for me otherwise.
Yeah.
So it happens. You don't get any bonus for acting on it.
Yep.
But you do get that set up, and we probably get that shot of a sort of the sedative being handed off, the doctor in place, all of those pieces in mind and ready. Fernando, Ronaldo, and Nieves all on this plan. Nieves, once sweet and delightful, once hopeful. Oh, pobrecita, to get pulled into such a thing.
Yes. Pobrecita. Yes. Definitely experience for that, right?
Yeah. Marcella. Beautiful, angry Marcella, who has just cracked her uncle's facade. And everyone in here has gasped after that revelation has been made, and people have heard it. They realize you're right. What do you do, Marcella?
Marcella's gonna turn to the police in the room and say, like, you heard it. Like, he's a terrible person. Like, you arrested the wrong brother. Seize this man.
All right. I'm actually going to have you can decide whether you want to demand. No, wait, we've already got the success on the table from this. Let me throw something out there and let me see if this would be okay with you, since you kind of got that positive result there. Alejandro, would this be the time that Yolanda pops up to maybe suggest that in fact you should be taken into custody?
Ooh.
I see. Yeah, I think that would be good.
Okay. Then that is what happens. The police are there. They're sort of, helpless because their colonel is corrupt and they've just been sent to turn around, and they kind of look at you, Marcella, like, well, maybe we will, but maybe we won't. You're a girl. We're just listening to you. And it's at that point that to the front door comes his gang member, and she holds up a badge, and she'll say, I am with the police, Special Investigator Yolanda Cortez. What she said is true. What he has admitted to is true. We have been working an undercover operation to prove that Alejandro Delgado is a notorious drug trafficker. And now we are going to take him away.
No.
Pull out my crazy large pistol.
And
I pointed at her. Oh, no. I grab Marcella and I put it at her head, of course.
Oh, man.
Marcella, he's grabbed you. He's got this gun. So I will say that seems like a reasonable thing for you to do. Marcella, how do you respond to that?
How do I respond to that? What can she do to that? She's kind of powerless a little bit. Do
you think he dragged you outside then?
I think so.
Okay. So right now, you are dragging Marcella outside. Where are you headed towards?
Oh,
Oh man.
all right. I didn't want to have to do this, but it looks like I'm going on the run. Well, Marcella, you're coming with me at least for now. But first, I need to pick something up, something I stored away for a rainy day, so to speak. Come with me to the library. And
yeah, that seems perfect. And
I drag her there, looking around, just constantly turning with the gun still to her. And I throw the door open and turn around. Do I see Fernando and the others?
Nieves?
Yeah.
Fernando, it just seems like the time that reveal happens.
Yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, there's like sheets everywhere. There's big bright lights we've brought in. There's a clean table.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the room. Oh no.
Ronaldo's standing behind you at this point.
You see Ronaldo. You see Nieves. You see this whole setup for a surgical operation, and you see yourself.
Oh my God. Dios mío. Do you have the eye patch off?
Yeah, it's off at this point.
I'm just staring at the eye.
I think I'm just so sad, and I'm like, brother, I never wanted our meeting to happen this way.
I'm getting a little unsteady from just being drunk and also being drugged. I start stumbling a bit, and I think Marcella can get away from me now.
Okay.
I still have my gun. What are you talking about? Who are you?
I'm your brother, Fernando. We were separated at birth.
No. My brother is in the other house, finally dying. No, please don't tell me he's gonna die and I get another brother. Oh gosh.
He's waving this gun around unsteadily, staggering from point to point.
What's happening to me?
If the gun is like being waved around, and I see, Marcella, Nieves, and my nephew. I mean, I've got like so many people in here that I'm concerned about. I think I'll start to struggle with him with the gun. Yeah.
Oh man.
In that case, you'll grab the gun, and the gun will go off, and we fade to black for the end of the episode. I think at that point.
Oh my gosh.
I think we should actually call this particular telenovela Fernando, and the theme song could be that ABBA song.
Jeez.
Does that seem like a fair place to stop that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that was for me. That was super fun. I don't know about you guys, but I dug that. So
yeah, it's a blast.
I had a great time with that. Yeah, very much.
Oh my gosh, this is very cool. Okay, well, let's do roses and thorns. If you guys don't mind taking a couple minutes to do that, to do that up. I think the only mechanical thorn I'm going to have is we did have one of those places that we mentioned this in Midway where the pronouns were hard to follow. I think that was one, and the "you are right" move. I think Matt, I think your interpretation of the "you are right" as the choice on that accuse someone of lying is a number one, but I think it needs maybe a little more explanation.
I would agree with that. It feels very strange.
Yeah, it just needs a little clarification there. But I think you're right that it convinces the audience.
Yeah.
That's correct. Brian, I didn't feel like I felt like I didn't give Nieves enough time tonight. So I'm also going to say that's another thorn from me. But any thorns from you?
No. I thought the first session was me just sort of understanding the idea behind the game and my character, and this one was more where I could really concentrate on the actual system.
Okay.
And I thought it was really cool the way you guys used the flashbacks. That was
nice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, I do agree. Like, these moves are written in a way that is a little complex for me. But that might also be the fact that I'm not so familiar playing Powered by the Apocalypse games. So
yeah, I wonder if it wouldn't be good if you're doing this as a one shot to have people start with some leverage over NPC.
That's a good idea.
Other players.
I thought about that significantly between last session and now, and it seems like kind of a no-brainer to have it in the beginning of the character creation. I mean, there's that section where you're choosing relationships, and it seems simple to have leverage go one way or another. Give at least a couple of leverage out on you and that you have on someone else from the get-go. It seems like that would at least start you out on the right foot. If that was a rule, that would be nice.
Yeah, I'll check and see if I've missed that. I don't think I did, but I'll check on that.
Yeah. I didn't see it in the materials that I have, but yeah, I don't know. No.
Any thorns from you then, Jesse?
Just kind of one on myself. I feel like I really slowed us down in that process your feelings out loud move, and I apologize for that.
I thought that was good. That was a good point to do that, to work through that.
Okay, because I felt bad about that. I wish I had just picked the top option on that thing and just made it a lot simpler and not gone there. But I feel like I wasted too much of everybody's time on that and didn't let us go other places.
No, not at all.
Okay. Kyle, thorns?
No huge ones other than what we've been talking about already. Some of that rung true. It was kind of short, so like short games like this, it's hard to actually get into the swing of it.
That's true. With the two sessions, especially with something like this, we are bouncing around on stuff. That's a good point.
And my moves, I was trying to get some of my special moves to work, but I was having a hard time to make them work. But
yeah, that's it. Especially. The hard to pin down means that you've got to have other people reacting to you. It's not an active one that you can push. It's a reactive one. So that's a tough one.
Yeah, I had the same issue with That Wasn't Me. Whereas that someone else has to do a flashback that involved either my character or Matt's character, and then I could engage that. So yeah, it's kind of I would love to use it. I think it would still be awesome to I think it's a good move. It was a bummer not to be able to see it in play, but that's just the way it shook out.
Yeah, I'll have to remember that if I do this as a one shot again to say, hey, watch the moves that require other people to trigger for you. You might want to take ones that are more active.
I wonder that particular move. I don't know. It feels really specific to have to spend a leverage over whoever initiated the flashback to do it.
Yeah,
that's true.
I wonder if maybe switching it to something like you give that person leverage.
Yeah, or spending stress or something like that.
Yeah, just something that lets you just do it more often.
Yeah.
Even if it, brings you closer to a meltdown or helps people have, be able to manipulate you or whatever.
Yeah, I think the cost would have to be pretty stiff so that it couldn't be overused. But I think having it, I think needing it to be leverage on the specific person that calls for the flashback is pretty restrictive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, a very specific move about a very specific thing, and then you have to have the leverage. So there's 3 steps of arrow there.
I love the idea. I think it would be.
The idea is great. Yeah. Matt, any thorns from you?
My big one was I felt like I kind of hogged the spotlight. Alejandro was involved with so much stuff, and I don't know. Okay.
I think that's perfect. I think that's exactly what it needed to be. I think with your character, that's exactly who you should have been, and it was perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, you pushing the levers and getting the drama going is always good.
No.
I loved tonight that we were getting the stress getting marked this time and seeing that. I really dug that, and the choices that had to be made. I enjoyed that immensely. I like that we were able to pull back and reincorporate a lot of the things that we did in the beginning and in the first session. So those would be 2 roses from me. Just general play notes that were awesome. Brian, any roses?
Oh man, I just really enjoyed the story. You know, it just sort of developed into this this creature with multiple possible routes and endings, and it was just really cool to see how you guys took it in different directions, and everyone did a great job with their characters. I really enjoyed playing with y'all. It was a blast.
I really
guys were
did.
great.
Jesse, any roses?
I just have to say, I mean, yeah, we've got minor quibbles about the system, but as far as like things that probably need to be tweaked, but I'm in love with this thing. I cannot wait to get my hands on the final product and run this. My girlfriend is Latina, and I've been telling her about this, and she is salivating over this game. Like, she's like, she owns a tea shop, and she's like, you have to come in and run this in the tea shop. I'm going to invite all my friends in. We're going to like do this thing. I'm like, yes, because it is that good. So that's awesome. I'm just, as far as roses, I'm loving this system. And Lowell, you ran it beautifully. I just love the way you kept twisting things and moving us around. It was great. So thank you so much.
This game is so kind of what I want out of a PC interaction game. It's so good for me.
Yeah.
And I can see doing it a whole bunch of different kinds of settings. And yeah, this is a game I'm really hungry for the final version of. But even the Ashcan is cool for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Kyle, any roses?
Yeah, I thought it was just hilarious and fun and like a really great time. I think everyone's character was really great.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I really liked what you did with Marcella tonight. I thought you were pushing further on her, and I really dug it.
Yes.
Nice.
Definitely.
Yeah, and Lowell, it was really great. Some moments you really like amped up the tension and like turned the screws, and it was really good. I feel like it made everything.
Yeah, I had so much fun. So, and as a GM, I kind of don't want to intrude, and yet I loved having the chance to do those. I'm going to throw in the move there. So I felt you guys gave me enough space to do that, and so that's another rose from me. Matt, I'm going to give you last word.
Sure. Roses all around, pretty much for me. I agree with everybody else. Lowell, you did a great job. You said we gave you some little space, but you gave us plenty of space, and I think you were perfect when you stepped in and when you stepped back. I liked your scene framing. I liked the additional, just insertion of things in the middle of scenes to help amp up the drama. And yeah, I really like the system. I really like the asking questions when you roll. That is a really cool idea. And
yes.
Yeah, I like that a lot too.
I thought it might
amazing
slow things down because like City of Mist has a thing where you build your roles and you have to pick these tags. And when we played that, it felt it like took a little bit longer than maybe it should have, but this felt right. It really did.
It just flows, and the questions go so fast, and then you're at, you're at a +1, you're at a +2, you're at a +3, whatever. I love it. That's such a cool way of doing it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, very few games that I play that are not overtly violent. And I mean, this had a ton of stress and conflict and agendas going on. And, I mean, I guess there was some implied violence, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we had opportunities where we could have literally lashed out with a candelabra or something. We didn't use those things. We used our words. It was, it was cool. It was really interesting and different for me.
So good. So I had a great time. Thank you guys for being willing to try this out. Much appreciated. I look forward to running this again. I'm running for Magpie at Gen Con, so I'm hoping that maybe they'll let me run this.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be awesome. So looking forward to that. So I'm going to stop the recording here. Going to stop the broadcast.